Welcome to the Love Personal Growth Podcast, your go-to for embodied healing and spirituality in life, business, and relationships. My name is Nuñez-LaMarre, the Love Personal Growth founder, and today we're going to talk about reconnecting to your soul. So, I am getting my master's in women's spirituality, and the word feminist comes up a lot. When I was young, I used to, I wouldn't call it despise the word, but try to push the word away because of the negative connotation to the word feminism and also just the charged meaning that feminism brings. And so I wouldn't have called myself a feminist. However, now that I'm in my women's spirituality program and I study feminist scholars, I'm 100% a feminist. And I have this radical belief that we should all be treated equal. And that is my definition of feminism. And one of the most radical ways of being a feminist is reconnecting women to their soul. So unbeknownst to me, unconscious to me, I was reconnecting women to their soul as a feminist act. And I wouldn't say that that's why I was doing it. Why I was doing it is because I know what it is to be reconnected to my soul, and it feels so good, and I wanted everybody to experience it. However, as I journeyed through this reconnection to the soul, and as I've been journeying through what feminism means, what I've realized is that the reason that reconnecting to our soul is so radical is because a reconnection to our soul is a reconnection to spirit. It is this radical belief that we are sovereign enough, that we are powerful enough, that we have the wisdom to reconnect to the divine that exists within and around us. Okay? So, I wrote a paper yesterday about feminism and about reconnecting to your soul. And for me, it was a process. I did my mindset work. I did reclaiming my body and my feelings and then reconnecting to my soul. Reconnecting to my soul, and I'm just going to read from here. One of the most liberating feminist experiences of my life is reconnecting to my soul. My mind and body feeling felt necessary to live here on earth. The patriarchal norms honor the knowledge of the mind and encourage emotional intelligence. However, a connection to my soul felt forbidden, like the fruit Eve tempted Adam with. It is culturally expected for a woman to not just claim, but rejoice in the fact that her connection to God is through a man. And not just a man, nor God itself, but through God's Son. Society expects us, especially women, to give away our power, making the journey back to our soul even more liberating. Now I'm going to unpack that here because what I will say is that I love Jesus. In fact, if you're watching the video and I move aside, this is who I hang out with every morning. And I struggled in the beginning as I left religion, to continue that relationship with Yeshua. Because I thought that it meant religion. But then I remembered that religion doesn't own Yeshua, nor Mary Magdalene, nor Mother Mary, nor Anna. And so as I came into communion with that knowing, I allowed myself to reconnect to Christ consciousness through me, not through anyone else. And that's the key for me. And that's what I'm so committed to doing, because when we do that, we reclaim our power, we reclaim our sovereignty, we reclaim our divinity. When we reconnect to the love that exists within us, that love is connected to these enlightened ones, including Buddha, who came before us. Now, if you were able to see even lower behind or next to Yeshua, my painting there of him meditating, you'll see that I have the Buddha. You'll see that I have Kuan Yin, who is the goddess of compassion. You'll see that I have Mother Mary. You'll see that I have a Mary Magdalene deck from Megan Watterson. I don't discriminate when it comes to my connection to spirit in terms of the support that I receive through love. If I am called to an archangel or if I am called to Buddha, they are just different forms of energy expressing love in ways that I can understand them now. And so I allow myself to not be tempted to fall into religious paradox and believe that there is someone outside of me that is required to experience God. But I allow myself to be fully me in the experience with God. This, I will say, is overwhelming for my nervous system, sharing this information. It's one thing to write it and then have people read it. It's another thing to write it and then say it. But to elaborate further on this connection to self and to soul, I want to talk a little bit more about what helped me get here. So there is this mindset work, which some may call, in fact, I'm just going to read again from my book, or okay, maybe one day this will be a book, from my paper. I had to, I knew that my mind wasn't my soul. I knew that the overwhelming thoughts that I had was quote unquote ego. Although I have my own view and take on ego, which I could do another episode about. But I didn't know that my soul wasn't intuition. I did not know that. And so I thought this intuitive knowing within me for a while. I thought this intuitive knowing within me, these gut impulses, reactions, feelings inside of me was my soul. And what I discovered for me and for myself is that it's not. And then I need to yawn, which regulates my nervous system. And then my women's spirituality course confirmed it for me. There's a book by Somali, and it's called Sensuous Knowledge. And she brings in insights from neuropsychologist Daniel Kahneman and neuroscientist Antonio Damasio. And in this, Kahneman argues that making a decision comes from system 1, which is emotional and intuitive, and system 2, which is the reflective deductive system. So the mind and the body, if you will, the brain and the body. Yet Kahneman claims that system 1 is less intelligent than system 2. So what Kahneman is arguing is that the reflective, the brain, the mindset is more intelligent. However, to challenge this argument, Somali introduces neuroscientist Antonio Damasio's work, which has been used in many different forms, and I'm also learning about his work in the spirituality and trauma course that I'm taking. And he argues that reason is directed by emotion. So he is arguing that system 2, which is this reflective deductive system, is directed by this emotional intuitive system. And so she being Somali, she brings in Yoruba philosophy. And Yoruba philosophy acknowledges the knowledge of the gut and the knowledge of the head. However, she brings in another viewpoint in that the system 1 and the system 2, this emotional and this reflective or this reasoning, are in a passionate love story, and this is her quote, in a passionate love story with 2 enamored characters. And what I realized as I was reading and embodying this knowing that my intuition that I thought was my soul is similar to the intellect. It only has access to what it knows. It only has access to what I've experienced. Now, that knowing, that intuitive knowing, can come from collective knowing, can come from ancestral knowing, can come from multiple life knowing. So it's a very wise part of us. However, if we imagine for a moment that the mind, which is the intellect, this reflective and reasoning, is the conscious. So this is what we're aware of. And the intuition, the body, the emotion is the subconscious. So it's hidden within the body. The soul is the unconscious. The soul has access to the unconscious, to the unknown, to the untapped potential. So when people talk about this untapped potential, I believe this is where they are coming from. And I write, if we dance between our intellect and intuition and allow them to be in love, we gain access to the soul. And in order to do this, we must be present to the love that exists within each moment, where we all can come together in unity, mind, body, and soul, knowing that there is no separation and that this is where spirit resides in everything. And so, as we live this human experience, and I needed to understand that there was a difference between the intellect, the intuition, and the soul. Like, I had to know that in order for me to experience the true essence of connecting to my soul. The truth of the matter is that it's all energy, it's all one, and that spirit is within each one of them. So what are we even arguing, and why are we even arguing? What does it even matter? Like, what does it even matter? I would argue 2 points. One, that it matters because you want to know where your information is coming from so that you can make aligned decisions in your life and your business and your relationships. And 2, I would argue that it doesn't matter because it's all the same thing, and no matter which direction you go, you're going to get to the place that you need to go anyways. I love these saying that I learned in 2015 maybe, that we're all on this journey up a mountain, and there's multiple paths, but no matter what path you take, you're getting to the top of the mountain. So if you want to live life knowing that no matter what decision you make, you're going to get to where you're going to go, beautiful. And if you want to live life understanding where the information comes from your intellect or your intuition or your soul, and you want to know how to access each one of them, that's where I come in. That's where I support you. That's where I help you. That's where I help you navigate the discernment between the mind, the body, and the soul, and how to access the spirit within each of them. Okay, so I hope you learned something today and have a wonderful day.